is Mr. Michael Green. Now, Mr. Green, as you know, Michael, you've got 5 minutes to address us, followed when Andrew will indicate when 1 minute of those 5 remains. You then have to answer a question from block 1 for 2 minutes, Andrew will again indicate when 30 seconds remain, and a question from block 2, and Andrew will do the same.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, so over to you, Andrew.
Cheers, thank you. Right, good evening, friends. Save the best till last, hopefully. Just want to say thank you to everybody for organising this. I know a lot of work's gone into it. And thank you all for staying behind. I only expected to see my own branch members. So it's really good. Okay, so as Mike said, my name is Mike Green, and I have a message. We are going to take our country back.
Yes.
Now I know that a lot of people in the room won't have heard of me, and there's a good reason for that, which I'll go into in a minute. But now we've met, I've got this 5 minutes to convince you why I should be a UKIP MEP candidate. Friends, I've arguably served the West Midlands since I left school in 19 something, a very long time ago. I served my Queen and country and my community for 30 years as a police officer. I retired in 2005 and started my own training company, of which I'm managing director, so I'm providing services back into local industry. You may all be thinking, what's that got to do with politics? Well, I actually think it's got quite a lot to do with politics. For 20 years I was a full-time instructor and operative on the Operational Firearms Operations Unit for West Midlands Police, and I learned a lot of things. As a general firearms operative, I learned that meticulous planning, ultimate teamwork and effective execution of plans wins the day. I was also a sniper, and that taught me to be patient, it taught me to be cunning and inventive. It also taught me how to dress like a bush. I'm not quite sure how I could use that skill in the European Parliament.
Yes.
I was also a royalty protection bodyguard, which taught me how to communicate with people from all levels of society, and it also taught me attention to detail and to never let my guard down. I was also number 2 on a hostage rescue team. I chose that position because I got to throw the stun grenades, which I really enjoyed. But it taught me, friends, that sometimes, when it's appropriate, you have to step up to the plate, put yourself in grave personal risk, kick some doors in and go eyeball to eyeball with what you perceive as a problem. I took out of society hundreds of terrorists, professional killers and dangerous criminals who pose a threat to our community, and I'm proud of that. As a cop, I learned a huge amount that I see as relevant to being a UKIP MEP. And I guess I could sum it up as the ability to see a problem, to come up with a plan and execute it. No matter how hard the going is or how long it takes. It taught me to have absolutely no fear of any place, any situation, and absolutely no person, except my wife if I'm laid back from the pub. I've also run a successful business for 8 years, and I've learned a lot from that, and I'm prepared to walk away from it because I see myself giving better service to UKIP, to yourselves as members, and to the country generally. So now I'm going to tell you why we've only just met. Like you, I woke up to the massive threat that is being posed to this country by the European Union last year. I also realised that the Lib Lab Con in the Westminster bubble were not serving our country, my countrymen. So I recognised there was a massive erosion of our sovereignty and the lowering the borders that my grandfather and father had fought for. And also the erosion of Britishness caused by mass immigration. If I see a threat to my community, I'm the type of person to meet the threat head on. So I joined UKIP in January this year. So just quickly, I got A-rated on the parliamentary assessment. I attended the spring conference and training. I've been an activist on the M6 toll protests. I supported Nigel Farage on the Common Sense Tour in Staffordshire. I fought a council election against a Tory with a 51% of the vote and lost by 152. I was honoured to be voted as branch chair for Burton earlier on in the year, and I'm currently leading UKIP in the town, shaping the tree of party politics and having some fun doing that. The reality is I'm back out on operations. Do I want to be an MEP? Yes, some doors need kicking in, and I want to hear Nigel Farage say, "You were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off." Thank you, folks.
Thank you very much, Michael. And now the second part of your ordeal is to select a question from the box here, and I will read it out and then you can answer it, taking 2 minutes to do so. Thank you. Again. What does Andy Murray's Wimbledon victory tell us about Scottish independence? 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. I read something in the newspaper that made me smile just prior to Andy Murray actually achieving that marvellous thing. And he said, and it was actually on the morning, and it said, Andy Murray today will either be a British hero or Scottish. In terms of what it means for the Scottish independence, I think it's twofold really. I actually think that Andy Murray winning that is united the kingdom, that everybody in the country was proud of Andy Murray, and I think it was an absolutely fantastic achievement. I think if anybody's going to try and make mileage out of the fact that Andy Murray's a Scot and only a Scot, I actually think they'll be hitting a brick wall, and it won't actually work like that. There's a lot going on in Scotland, and I think it's very interesting that the Scottish nationalists are actually losing power and influence and interest quicker than the Tories and the Labour Party to UKIP. So I think it's an interesting question. In terms of how that it will transpire, I really don't know. But I can see, folks, that you're getting really tired. So I'm going to pin it there and go on to the next question.
Thank you, Michael.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Question 2.
Oh, no.
How many good?
My strangest habit is ... 2 minutes.
Well, actually, I think probably my strangest habit is UKIP. Up until the middle of last year, I had no politics in my blood whatsoever, and I had a sudden massive realisation of everything that was going wrong, and I became angry. I became angry about everything that was going on and how we were not being represented. I didn't feel like anybody was looking out for my interests. So in terms of UKIP being a habit, if it's a habit, then at the moment it's a drug with me, because I want everything, I want to be everything, I want to do everything. I know I've not been with the party for a long time, but I have packed into 6 months what some people take an awful long time to do. I feel I'm absolutely ready for this, and this, I'm at a crossroads in my life. I know exactly which direction I want to turn, and it's with the UKIP habit.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Michael. That's the end of your ordeal.
Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen, for staying.